The Utah Shakespeare Festival took a special message on tour to Utah high schools throughout the state.
Their production of Every Brilliant Thing illustrates the effects of suicide in new and different lights. As news specialist Ashley Moser reports, suicide remains the leading cause of death for Utahns ages 10 to 24, and that makes this a particularly important message.
And the list began after her first attempt.
Cordell Cole stars in a one-person show featuring a boy who starts a list.
Number 1. Ice cream. Ice cream!
A list of everything he thinks is worth living for, like ice cream and water fights. He starts it after his mother first attempts suicide.
Because she can't see anything worth living for.
It's a desperate effort to persuade her to live.
What I love about this show is it really focuses not on the person that's attempting, but the effect of that person on me.
It's an interactive play designed to help students recognize their worth and what motivates them to live.
Dad looked at
For
me.
18-year-old Justice, it's the feeling he gets performing on stage.
The curtains opening at the top of a show.
He admits being a teenager can be difficult.
And it can get really frustrating and lonely at times.
Cole hopes the production starts a dialogue.
When you don't talk about something, especially this subject, it gives it a whole lot of power. And then when you start talking about it, it takes all of that power away. Number 4!
Color yellow.
The color yellow, number 5!
And sends a message.
It's important to keep going, I think, and push through because things do get better.
West High student Madeline Valdez said she struggles with depression herself.
I think my brilliant thing would have to be the smell of my great-grandparents' house.
After watching the play, she's ready to start her own list.
I think encourage people to continue living for like the small things rather than these huge giant things that seem to be really overwhelming a lot.
Intermountain Healthcare's Marissa Henn says sometimes getting better requires even more, like medication and professional counseling.
It is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. In fact, it really can be a sign of strength and of caring for oneself and one's family to take that step.
She says it could be the difference.
And can even save a life.
And I continued with the list.
Ashley Moser, KSL 5 News.
The Utah Shakespeare Festival took the production to 160 schools, starting the conversation with 75,000 students in our state. If you or someone you love is struggling with suicidal thoughts, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That number there is on your screen.